Hey yo, yo meat. We have a nice weekend as well. I'm still a little bit sick. I kind of pushed myself today. I probably shouldn't have worked a normal day. I probably should have slept for the whole day. Still. In Discord real quick and go get some tea.
Major fracture detected. Automatic medical systems engaged. Morphine administered.
Loya, thank you for 52 months tier 2 subscription. Of hell. Thank you. Thank you. Very poggers, very cool. You cut your water to afford the stream? What the? Huh? Don't do that though. Bam bam. Oh, fuck. Ow. I just tried to lift my cup with like a really weird angle on my finger and it kind of hurt. I don't know why. Ow. That hurt. Yeah, I probably should have still like slept for today. I don't know. Like I woke up in the morning feeling like kind of mid. So I thought like, man, I'll just like do a remote day today. I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have just like slept for the day. Because I am still like kind of... Like I'm not like super sick, but it's like my nostrils hurt. And it's really annoying. You know? Like breathing through my nostrils kind of hurt. It's like my... What do you call it? Like the freaking mucous membranes in my freaking nostril are like sore. It's like really annoying of a feeling. Ugh. Really freaking annoying. Bam, bam, bam. But it is what it is. I'll say it's on. I got some tea here. It's kind of hot though. Like my throat isn't sore anymore. I think I have like occasional fever. Like I feel like every now and then my fever rises. And like my nostrils hurt. Like that's the situation I'm at currently. So it's kind of like a mid situation. Like overall, my feeling is kind of mid. Bam, 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 bam. Kind of mid. Of a feeling. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Borpaspinst. Man. Other than that, it's been a day. Tucker Carlson released like the 2-hour interview with Putin. I watched that while doing work, like listening on it. Some Russian propaganda. YouTube has been like pushing steroid documentaries on me lately, so I was like listening in on that. Putin. History with Putin was boring. Yeah, why did he do that? Why did he talk about like the history, like the fucking Tsar age history, like 1600s? Like who cares, man? Like what the fuck was the point of that? Like history hour? He's like, oh, historically, like maybe these lands were like not really Ukraine, like in the 1400s, you know, in the medieval times, and you know, then in the 1600s they were kinda, and like they were part of like the Soviet Union, and like, you know, we gave them independence, and you know. Like why did he spend like 30 minutes or something speaking about the history? That was dumb as fuck, man. Oh fuck, I almost spilled my tea. Almost spilled the tea. Ah. Bam, bam. It was nice comparison to the toddler that is Biden. Yeah, you know, there's been like news in Finland about how like but it's like propaganda news as well. Like there's propaganda on both sides. Like propaganda news in Finland about how like Putin is almost like dead and like he can barely speak anymore and he's like a shaking old man. I don't know, in like the 2-hour interview he seemed like more coherent than Joe Biden. So like, I don't know, man. He was kind of spewing propaganda though. I don't know. What bothered me about that was like there's like other it seems like all other news outlets are really afraid to talk about the like the actual interview part of it. Like CNN reporter debunks Tucker Carlson's claims. And Tucker Carlson is like, I'm a journalist, and the news anchor is like fucking smug face. Actually, you're not a journalist. Like, bitch, who do you get to decide who's a journalist or not? Like, nice fucking debunk, man. Each science finds our talking points full of propaganda. Yeah. Like, can I like find the Huffington Post? Was it this? No, I think I think it's this, man. Hold on, I think I found it, like this shit right here. Hold on. Like I felt like this was kind of dumb, you know. Like this was the first thing that I saw like mainstream media say about it, I guess. This, right? Watch Abby Phillips surgically destroy each of Tucker Carlson's lie in Putin interview boast. Like 2 minutes. The whole interview was like 2 hours. Like, I don't know. Wait, how does each of the lie? Tucker Carlson is gonna go. This isn't actually the thing, man. Oh, here it is.
We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Tucker Carlson is lying from the streets of Russia.
Oh my god, fucking... Man, Twitter is so ass. Like, Twitter is so ass. Like, their embeds are like ass. Everything's ass, man. Like, let's see.
We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Like, are you gonna say that's a lie already?
Tucker Carlson is lying from the streets of Russia, no less.
How do you claim that's a lie? How can you say that he's lying? What are you basing that claim on? Was surgically dismantled. Let's see, man.
Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict.
That is a lie, though, because like they've like like the Kremlin says that they just haven't accepted any.
Vladimir Putin.
That's the only lie, pretty much.
That's a lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have requested Putin to interview over and over again.
I'm doing the thing. What thing?
Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice.
Another lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have covered and, of course, reported on Putin's words since this war began, including one of his baseless justifications for the invasion of Ukraine, which he initially claimed was to stop the Nazis.
Yeah, denazification.
First, because it's our job. We're in journalism.
Like, this is stupid.
Tucker Carlson is not a journalist.
This felt like so stupid. Like, how can you? Who are you to decide, man? Who are you to decide?
Not even close.
What do you mean not even close? What do you mean not even close? He's like out there reporting. Like, isn't that what journalists do?
In a court case, actually agreed. Quote, the general tenor of the show should then inform a viewer that Carlson is not stating actual facts.
Yeah, this is for his like previous show on Fox News before he, like, man, what a disingenuous person, man. This is like before, this is when he was like part of Fox News. He's not part of Fox News anymore. So like, what? Are you gonna say like because like 4 years ago he did something that means that like he's that thing right now?
About the topics he discusses and is
nice
engaging in exaggeration and non-literal commentary.
Nice joke.
2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed.
I mean, you could say that most people are not informed about what's happening there. You could say that most Americans might not be informed. In fact, like, most Americans not being informed might be like one reason why they're like so against like any aid for Ukraine. Like that could very well be the reason. Like what is she gonna say against this? Is she gonna say like, no, in fact everyone is super informed about everything and you're just dumb?
They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine.
For 2 years, real journalists have risked their lives to report from the ground each and every day in Russia and in Ukraine, including 2 U.S. journalists who are right now baselessly being detained by...
That's a lie. The war is not reshaping the world. The tectonic plates remain unfazed. That is true, man. That's what she should have said.
...by Vladimir Putin.
This has nothing to do with are Americans informed or not. Like, actually, there's reporting going on. Like that doesn't connect to if people are informed or not. That's nothing to do with it.
Now is founding partner and Washington.
Has nothing to do with it.
Julia Ioffe. Julia, thanks for staying up for us. What is in it for Putin to do this interview with Tucker Carlson, both from an American audience perspective and also, of course, his audience back home in Russia?
Abby, thank you so much for calling out so many of Tucker Carlson's lies. There are so many of
so many of them. Like what she called out is like, actually, you're not a journalist because I say so. And 4 years ago, when you were hosting this show, you weren't a journalist then, so you can't be a journalist now. Like, what lies did you destroy?
them in that
You did
4.5
nothing,
minute
man.
video that it's hard to get at all of them, but I'm glad you
All of them.
dismantled some of the most important ones.
The most important lies, in the 2 hour propaganda piece was Tucker Carlson saying he's a journalist. That was the most important lie to dismantle.
But I think what's really shocking about this is the way he kind of just walks right into Moscow and presents himself on a silver platter to the Kremlin, doing the Kremlin's job of misinforming, disinforming the American population. Putin, from the very beginning of this war, has angled to basically create a bridge to American right wingers and conservatives like Tucker Carlson, saying that he's fighting gender neutral bathrooms in Ukraine, saying that he's fighting.
Wait, what the fuck? Fighting gender neutral bathrooms? What did this lady just say?
A bridge to American right wingers and conservatives like Tucker Carlson, saying that he's fighting gender neutral bathrooms in Ukraine.
Is this lady saying that Putin said that he's fighting against gender neutral bathrooms in Ukraine? Like, what is this? What the fuck is this?
Saying that he's fighting queer gender roles in Ukraine, basically signaling to them that there's an ideological affinity and that I'm your guy. And in fact, if you recall, shortly before Putin invaded Ukraine in February of 2022,
I don't think
Tucker
that's...
Carlson went on his show on Fox News and said, hey, why are we allying ourselves with Ukraine when we should be the allies of Putin? We have the same ideas as him, and he should be our friend.
Who do you think is winning this propaganda war right now, given everything that you laid out? And also just, by the way, the fact that right now, U.S. aid for Ukraine is stalled in Washington because of Republican opposition.
Oh man, it's not just because of that. It's because like they're... What a freaking disingenuous way to like frame that. The reason why the Ukraine aid is stalled is because Biden is like going against the border fence, and the Republicans want the border fence there, and they're holding like the freaking Ukraine aid hostage because of like the border situation. Okay, it has nothing to do with Republicans wanting to fight against gender neutral bathrooms. Like, man, how is this person so disingenuous? How can you be this disingenuous on a news show? Like, it baffles me. How can you be this biased?
Well, I think so far, or right now, Putin is winning, mostly because people...
You're saying Russia is winning the propaganda war when overwhelming support is for Ukraine. You are saying that Russia is winning the propaganda war. Are you for real? Are you for real?
In the West are tired. They have war fatigue. There's another war, a horrible war happening in Gaza right now. And a few Republicans on the right are doing, or actually a lot of them are doing Donald Trump's bidding because he does not like Ukraine. He likes Vladimir Putin, and he has told them to hold up funding for Ukraine. There should be no more money for Ukraine. So all of that disinformation, all of that butter.
Yeah, but that isn't because of Russia good. That's because of America First policy that freaking Donald Trump and like the hardcore MAGA Republicans are driving. Like, man, I don't understand. How can you go on a show and just like, does she not know? Maybe she just doesn't know. Maybe she's just unaware of like the whole situation.
Up of the American right wing and of Donald Trump and close to him has really paid off handsomely for Vladimir Putin, because Ukrainian troops are right now, as we speak, running out of ammunition, running out of men, in the middle of a horrible, deadly winter.
Yeah, and they're also trying to make like a law that lets them draft anyone. And even like people who are already left the country, they want to draft those people too. And they want like the Interpol to track like men over the age of like 18 that have left the country and draft them into the military. Like, that's what they're doing. And also currently like the leader of the armed forces in Ukraine was like, this law is insane. So they fired him and they got a new leader for the armed forces.
Yeah, and Tucker Carlson doing the propaganda work of basically Russian state media for them here as well. Julia Ioffe, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Like, man, what freaking lies did she dismantle, man? Did you conclude the interview with? Man. Tucker is a real journalist, you're a hack. CNN and Biden lie. Ukrainian army misappropriating funds didn't help their case at all much. Oh yeah, also that thing happened. The whole like widespread corruption with like the aid money. Remember the whole inquiry of Donald Trump's a Russian spy or something? Yeah, like remember the Hunter Biden laptop? Remember how that all turned out to be true and like it's just not mentioned anymore? Yeah. Didn't Hunter Biden work on Oil Corp and Ukraine before war? Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like, like the CNN misinformation on this is like actually insane. Like, how can you make like a surgically destroy each of Tucker Carlson line Putin interview? And it's like the first 2 minutes of the whole interview where like he lays the groundwork and says that he's a journalist, and this lady like goes with a smug face like, actually, you're not a journalist because 4 years ago you did a talk show, and in like the talk show court documents it was actually said that you were just playing like a character, so therefore you are also doing that right now. Oh man, retell the tale. Also saying that like the US aid for Ukraine has stalled because everyone is like so pro Russia. It's just like very disingenuous and like just polarizes the society over there. I mean, get fucked US, I guess, but like your politics leak way over across the whole world, but like it's not because of pro-Russia mentality spreading in the US, it's because of like Democrats going crazy about the border and the Republicans going crazy about the border, so they're like stalling the aid packages. And like, no, what was it also? It was like wanting to include the Ukraine aid into like an official budget or something as well, and like the Republicans did not want that. The same that's happening inside EU actually. Like, was it Hungary? What fucking country is? In Finnish it's Unkari, but is it Hungary? Yeah, it's Hungary. Hungary is like stalling a Ukraine aid because like they don't want it included in like the full EU budget. They want it to be like a separate thing from the EU budget. So right now a lot of like news inside EU is like painting Orban like as a pro-Russia like a person and like a pawn of Russian, I don't know. But yeah, there's like better points to like dismantle in the Tucker Carlson interview instead of like the first 5 minutes where he says that like he's a journalist and that somehow is like an egregious lie. Like, you know, the part where Putin says that like CIA is behind the war in Ukraine. Like, why don't you dismantle that part? That I watched the interview, man. I was like listening on it while I was doing work. The motherfucker goes like, yeah, you know, it's because of CIA. They destabilized the region by like interfering with the elections. Or what was it? He said that like Ukraine wanted to join EU, but then Russia was like, hey, we have open trade borders with Ukraine. So if you join EU, we're gonna have to close the open trade borders because we don't want open trade borders with EU. Then Ukraine, like Yanukovych or who the fuck, was like, okay, I'm gonna reevaluate this and not join EU, like completely ignoring the fact that like Ukraine is not meeting the EU join requirements because of like the widespread corruption in the country. And then because of that, CIA overthrew the government. That's like the propaganda that Putin was saying in that interview. That's what he was saying. So how about you dismantle that instead of Tucker Carlson saying he's a journalist? Like that's a way better lie to like go against, man. Not haha funny, but if you want to look at something, Gemini Ultra vs ChatGPT 4, maybe I will look at it. Should you nuke Russia? Tactical nukes? No. Like small complex nuke? No. No, what the fuck? Hell no. Hell no. Hard to find neutral news. It is. It is. Like, obviously, like, you know, when it's an interview with Putin, obviously he's gonna spew propaganda. Like, his like, side, which is always propaganda, but, like, man. No person nukes, not a retaliation nukes are a real deterrent. Yeah, you know, do you know why North Korea wants to have, like, an operational ICBM? And, like, nuclear strike capability? That's why. Because as soon as they have that, they are like a player on the international field. Historically, the stream belonged to you. I think it's unbelievable. No! What do you mean? In the 1600s, you controlled this region of the internet? Man, that shit was so fucking dumb in the interview. Why the fuck was... Yeah, you know the Tsar, and like there was like the thing about the Tsar. You owned Twitch? What the fuck, man? Look at the duck in the corner. He's waving. That shit was so dumb, man. Like... I don't know, man. And like, who cares about what the historical borders were, man? Like, history is for nerds and losers, man. Same with like the whole fucking Israel-Gaza shit. Like, oh, historically Israel wasn't there. Well, it is there now, motherfucker. What are you gonna do, man? What the fuck are you gonna do, man? Just like delete the country? Tucker tried softly to delete current events, but he still gave him the history lesson. Yeah, I think he just didn't want the interview to end like instantly for like him pushing too hard. It does go into the current events, but like it takes like a... The talk takes like an hour to get into the current events. Like he's fucking prattling on about like the fucking, I don't know, like Tsar and the 1600s and like how historically like Ukraine didn't even exist because there was no such country and like... Ah, man. But then he also says stuff like, you know, Ukraine was trying to pass laws where like naturalized citizens and like unnaturalized citizens have like different rights. And them saying that like Russian-speaking individuals are non-naturalized citizens. Like, was that true? Were they trying to pass something like that? Like, I don't know. Is that also propaganda? Heroes. Be honest. What? Be honest about what? This make me look fat. Putin really said you are not Russian anymore. Yeah, the whole interview is weird. He's saying that like, oh, like Ukrainians are Russian, and then at the same time he's saying that Ukrainians are not Russian and they were trying to discriminate against Russians, and then it's like the CIA destabilized the region and that's why they had to have like a third round of elections and like the CIA blew up the Nord Stream. Or like it was America or CIA that blew up the Nord Stream, and like Ukraine is like intentionally keeping the pipeline shut to like pump up like the gas price for Germany, and like the CIA is in your walls. I don't know, man. what I do find weird is that the violent coup was like triggered by a single sniper shot, right? So that is kind of weird, you know? They were having like the protests and shit about like not wanting Yanukovych as the president and like wanting to join the EU, and then one of the protesters was shot by a sniper rifle from like somewhere, and that's like what triggered the violent coup. From what I remember, in like 2013 or something, man. From like 2014 or something. That was like before the fucking separatist shit at like Donbass and the whole like Crimea operation and shit. I think they said that it was like the president's special forces or something that shot the shot. And that's why like they drove Yanukovych away from the whole country and shit, but... And then they elected a populist as their president. CIA does have a long history of doing shady shit, so I wouldn't put meddling like this past them. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Would the CIA really have an interest in, like, Ukraine? Would the US have an interest in Ukraine? Considering, like, it was one of the most corrupt, it's like one of the most corrupt EU countries and shit like this. Would you really have, like, an interest in that? Like, sure, they say that they want to join the EU and NATO and shit, but, like... Your favorite conspiracy is Ukrainian oil? There's oil there. I thought the only thing they have is like farmland. Doesn't Ukraine have like some form of giga farmland, like the strongest farmland in existence, and like a majority of the world's crops are grown there or something? Like a fuck ton of wheat. Found oil in Crimea, Crimea lost. They found massive oil in Donbass, Russia goes Donbass. One guy on YouTube told you they can legally kill you and drive your corpse in the middle of nothing and block everyone from entering anywhere near. The CIA. Ah, yes. He had wheat shortage. There was like a global shortage of wheat after like the war in war in Ukraine started. Like even during like the separatist times, like there already was like a shortages because like the separatists are in like the eastern part of Ukraine. The separatists that did not accept like the violent coup that happened in like 2013 or something. I don't fucking remember. That shit's been going on for like a decade. And people just like say that people like to say that the Ukraine conflict has been only going on for a couple of years. It's been like a fucking decade since the separatists in the Donbass region and shit. Like remember they shot down that one passenger plane? That's the MH17. When did MH17 get shot down? (2014). Yeah, that shit's been going on since then, man. Shit's been going on for 10 years, man. Shit's rough, man. Imagine 10 years of war. God damn. Boost viewers for free. Fuck, man, you were too fast. No. They're still thinking Putin bad for starting the actual war. I think there are better ways to get what he wants. Yeah. I don't know, like starting a war against like another sovereign nation is pretty fucked. Ugh. But then again, let's not forget the Western news media being like the concerning rise of the far right in Ukraine right before like the special operation began, you know. I don't know, man. They were bombing the separatists for like a long time. She was fucked. It was like a... I mean, I don't know if you can call it a civil war when it's like foreign-backed troops. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, like the Tucker Carlson interview. Media's big cut. You're lucky to get a glimpse in reality when you watch the news nowadays. Yeah, it's important to like recognize propaganda, is what I think. Propaganda exists on all sides. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Man, I'll get some more tea. Keep hearing Trump's warmonger about world black wars on his term. Yeah, man. Kids drone striked when Trump was president. 0. Kids drone striked when Democrat president. A lot. Always remember. Drone strike. Obama gets a fucking Nobel Peace Prize just for becoming the president. Remember that shit? That shit was so dumb, man. I feel like that highlighted some institutional racism or like internalized racism. I feel like that highlighted some internalized racism by the Nobel Committee to give Obama a Nobel Peace Prize just for becoming the president. Like, motherfucker didn't even do anything, man. Like, he just got elected and he gets a Nobel Peace Prize. And then he proceeds to drone strike some kids. Oh man. Yeah, he proceeded to drone strike hospitals and shit. Nice fucking Peace Prize. Translate 79 into French. But just the numbers. Suck on these nuts. God damn it, man. Is existence fucked? Should we move our brains to computers? Man, I would move my brain to a computer, man. Let's go. Put me in the simulation. If I can't distinguish it from reality, that will become my reality. But yeah, Orange Man bad. Always remember. Orange Man bad. In Finland it was like Bald Man bad. With like Halla-aho. How come he doesn't just shave his head?
Also, distinguishing fiction from reality is an important skill. Capsize 23. It's crucial to understand that what happens in fiction, such as books, movies, or games, is not the same as real
I feel like
life.
she yaps a little
While
bit too much.
fiction can be entertaining and immersive, it's essential to maintain a clear understanding of what is true and what is not. Keep a critical mindset and enjoy the wonders of both worlds.
The female PM bad? Oh, she's bad too. She bad as well. Like she like what, for example, one of the things that she did is that there was like this whole county reform thing that had been going on in like the parliament for like a decade or something. Because they wanted to like restructure how the counties work and how like services are provided in the counties. and wasn't really pushed forward because it didn't really work out. Like there wasn't really anything that works out. She like forcibly pushed it through, and like the effects are getting visible right now. And the effects are that like a lot of counties in Finland are bankrupt. There's no money. There's no money at all because of like how they merged them and how they like increased the. They're like county leaders that are getting paid more than like parliament members because of like how shitty the restructuring work was. And that's like leading to a massive fucking budget crisis. Massive fucking budget crisis and like massive fucking debt for all the counties. And like it is just like completely fucked. And like she was like advertising it as like all Finnish people will now have equal access to like services. What she didn't mean is that people who didn't have access get like access. What she meant is that like now no one has access. If some people used to have access, they don't now, because if no one has access, then it's equal, you know. So it's like shit. You can't get like a specialized doctor. You can't like get fucking dental service. You can't get shit done at all. Well, everyone is equal now because no one can get shit from the public side.
Eros the Great. While that idea may add a touch of humor, it's best to maintain a conversation that is both engaging and appropriate for everyone. Let's focus on interesting topics and enjoyable exchanges without the need for repetitive phrases. Sound good?
Get on. I only said because guys sold Stumble. Guys sold Stumble guys and got fucked on attacks. But yeah, everyone is equal now in like getting services, in the sense that no one gets services. So yeah, like all the county like systems, they're all fucked. Like I feel like they intentionally like misled the public, because they were like, oh, it's gonna be like around 500 million that they're gonna need like in debt money like next year. It's not 500 million. It's like 1.5 billion or something. Is that correct? Like a milliard. How much is that in English? Yeah, it's billion. So they claim that it's gonna be like 500 million. It's like 1.5
awesome.
billion.
Yap. What's on your mind? I'm here to yap away and have a fun conversation with you. Yap. So, don't hesitate to yap at me with your thoughts and questions. Awesome. Yap.
Yep. And bald man in Finland was like Halla-aho. He's like a politician that used to have like a blog where he wrote like some dumb racist shit. And then like other like politicians of that party also wrote on that blog like some dumb racist shit. Bald man basic. Oh man. I mean, he also wrote stuff that like you can like read it in like a very hostile lens, and like you can think it's racist, but it's like that's not what he's saying. I feel like there some of like what he wrote is also like that was like something about shooting people in a train, or like something about shooting into a pride parade. He wrote something like that. I don't fucking remember what it was. And what? His whole body language is hostile. Can I like find what he wrote? He's written about like how Islam is like PDF file. What else I say? Okay, like some of these are like these are he's written like 4chan level posts, man. Like About like immigrant crimes, he's like written like, I hope that like every like leftist party member is like a victim of like immigrant violent crimes and shit like that. He's like written like specific names that I hope this like parliament member gets like SA'd. Oh my god, man. Okay, he's pretty fucking unhinged. He's an angry teenager. Show you the pic. What pic? I'll show you the pic of the guy. Hold on. This is the guy, man. This is him. The bald man. The bald man. It's him. Yeah, he's like writing online about like immigrants and like firing guns into various events. He's currently like he's like the parliament chairman or something. I don't know what you call it. He's like the chairman or something. So it's written like in like 2003 to 2015, he had a blog that contained posting about immigration, multiculturalism, woke culture, racism, freedom of speech, and political correctness. And he was like writing very like aggressive and sarcastic and nihilistic posts about all of these topics in like a 4chan style. So you can imagine what he's been writing, man. And he hasn't apologized for any of them. He's like, well, that's what I wrote at the time. Look like Zuck with the most receded hair. He has not apologized for a single part of this. He's been like, well, that was what I wrote at the time. It is what it is. All these far-right populists getting tired of it. You know what we don't talk about enough is the far-left populists, man. Populism in general is cancer. Because it's like, populism floats the idea that unobtainable goals are actually obtainable, and it's just because of like the bad people in charge that those goals are not being worked for. That is not the case. Like, those goals are unobtainable for reasons beyond what the people in power are doing. But populism will always hint that like it is because of the people in power. It's the same for like far left, it's the same for like far right. Far left will say that's like universal basic income is because of like the capitalist society and shit like that. Far right will say that like all the problems are because of immigration. Like, well, it's not. Immigration is important, man. Keep like the fucking workforce at a good level, man. Because of ballooning like it. Populism in a nutshell, you're being gatekept by the rich, basically. Yeah? Workforce mumble. Yeah, my mind went into two tracks there, because you want to keep unemployment at a certain level, and you want to keep like the workforce like amount rising because of increasing like retirement fund costs, because like aging population. Unemployment needs to be like at a certain. You can't actually have like 0% unemployment, because what will happen is that small businesses become unable to compete for labor. Because now you gotta pay like a fuck ton of money for like any like sort of job. So you gotta keep unemployment at a certain high percent. It's not actually good if unemployment becomes really low. It's not actually good. Get rows of unemployable foreigners that don't speak your language are illegal. How do they fulfill work for? I'm not saying illegal immigration. Illegal immigration is bad. You should have zero illegal immigration. Immigration is not the same as illegal immigration. Illegal immigration is, in my opinion, categorically bad. You should never have any illegal immigration. It should always be almost zero. Legal immigration is fine. Legal immigration is good. You have to pay people to not work and stay at their homes? No. People argue that our current world doesn't need borders. Well, people are retarded. I said it. Borders are necessary. Like, how else would you have, like, fucking... How else would you have governing zones? Like, you have borders even inside countries because of, like, counties. You have, like, state taxes. You have borders everywhere. Country borders are, like, just, like, a larger scale thing. Like, the borders are necessary. How else will you, like, define where, like, one governance ends and another begins? How will you do that without borders? A big problem with illegal immigration in California, but it's not that we don't want illegally immigrated people here. I still think that, like, people shouldn't illegally immigrate into anywhere. Big agriculture business likes to exploit the shit out of them. I mean, that's one reason why you shouldn't illegally immigrate anywhere. Like, I doubt that you will be at a better spot than anywhere else if you illegally immigrate. Like, there are countries where you could immigrate legally and you will be... Like, consider you illegally immigrate into the US compared to if you, like, legally immigrated into, I don't know, fucking... Where's like a... Fucking Brazil. I feel like you would do better in Brazil than being an illegal immigrant in the US. Or fucking Argentina, like... Literally, man. You would do better. Because at least you can do things. Like, you can't do anything as an illegal immigrant, man. House no need fences then? Ask rich celebs why they have fences on their layers. Brazil mentioned. Yeah, man. Ah, man. Brazil. Probably wannabe illegal immigrants couldn't hear the voices of us and they would become good citizens instead. Brazil is a pretty fucking crazy place from what you hear. More like to get shot there, probably. I don't know, man. Like, if I'm thinking, like... What's like the crime capital of fucking United States? Like, I think it's like New York right now or something. For some reason, I feel like I would have a higher chance of getting shot in, like, Denver or, like, New York than if I went to Brazil. Like, some like... I feel like if I went to New York, like, some homeless guy is just gonna have a gun and he's just gonna shoot me because he's, like, high off his mind on, like, fucking fentanyl or something. That's what I think. Two bullets were fired in your street last night. Monka giga. Monka giga. Doesn't New York have a crime problem right now because they have like the no bail laws? People do crime and then because there's like no bail they just like leave. New York, bim, bim, that's where dreams are made of. Catch and release is insanity. It is. What the fuck, man? I mean, maybe not the insanity. Like, in a perfect world, catch and release is, like, fine. Because, like, in a perfect world, everyone's, like, a perfect citizen. They do some mishap. They get caught. They're like, oh, man, I'm so sorry about this. They get released. They, like, when they get called for their court date, they come there, like, with their hands already ready to get cuffed. And, like, they're like, yes, I am the bad guy, please. I am here for my court date. In a perfect world, it works, right? New York's crime problem presently is still better than New York's crime problem before 1994. Per side, they don't do crime. Exactly, man. Cali's having major problems too because no one will do anything for theft under $1,000, so the thieves just know how much they need to steal to not get in trouble. Oh yeah, because it's like yeah, they also like they just don't go after it. Like that's why shoplifting is so fucked there, right? That's why shoplifting is fucked, right? I mean, ultimately, I feel like laws like that will just damage like local communities more than like anything else. Like all you do is like you're fucking over your local community, and then you end up in a situation where like everything around you is shit, and then you like steal more because like everything is shit around you, but everything keeps going into more shit because like everyone steals because things are shit. Like why would you have like a small business, or like why would you run like a local shop in a community when all your shit just gets stolen and like police doesn't do anything about it? And like the train cargo theft in the US is crazy. Yeah, man. What the fuck? Urban blocks where the nearest food store is like 50 miles over or more. Yeah, guess why the nearest food store is like 50 fucking miles or more? Because like if they have like a local store, I mean in the US it's also because of zoning laws, right? There's also like shitty fucking city planning and like zoning, and you're not allowed to like run a business in like a residential area or something. I like understand it correctly. It's literally fucking Sim City over there, man. You like lay down the fucking residential zone and you're not allowed to build commercial buildings on the residential zone. Motherfuckers are playing Sim City, man. Fucking Grid City. They make the streets into grids. They put like down the residential plots. Let's go now. Let's go, man. Steal one of my tails. I have too many tails and you have none. Bro, I need these tails, man. The 9 tails mark my power as a deity. Okay. Oh, man. Man. They put the poop wash outflow on the wrong side of the river so it contaminates the intent. That's a base fucking city planning right there, man. Bow, 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 bow. Las Borpas. It did happen in Las Borpas, man. No, only in the burbs, man. Only in the burbs. The burbs were like the disease central with like the poop water and everything, man. I remember the burbs. Next, also transformation 4 legs. I'm not a furry. That won't happen. Someone mentioned something about conscription in Finland. Like, conscription has always been a thing in Finland. Recently, like, what they're like going off about is like the reserves, the military reserves. Because like the defense minister in like some like newspaper interview was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look into how to make it illegal to like leave the reserves. And all of a sudden everyone is like leaving the reserve because like if it becomes illegal, then like you're forced to take part in that, and like people don't want to be in the reserves. It got like so bad that like the defense minister had to come out and say that like, oh, I was just joking, by the way. I was just joking. And now you have like the reservist union saying that like it should be made into a thing so that you're not allowed to leave the army reserves. And just a little jest, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of sus about like all the stuff like surrounding like Finnish military recently. Like before joining the NATO, they were like, oh, like reservists are never going to like reservists are never gonna take part in like NATO operations. Then it was like, oh, maybe like reservists should take part in NATO operations, and now it's like reservists will take part in NATO operations, but it's like based on consent. But now they're saying that like maybe we should make it illegal to leave the reserves. So I feel like the next step is gonna be like if you get ordered to go into a NATO operation as a reservist, you have to go there. You thought you had to explicitly apply to work for NATO? That's how it was. That's how it was introduced as. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Now what it feels like the case is that like if NATO calls for it, like Finland will send the reservists. And I don't know, man. I'm part of the reserve, but I don't think I want to be a part of the reserve. Like, I don't think I want to go take part in some NATO conflict in the, I don't know, fucking Israel-Gaza strip, man. Like, that's what's gonna happen, man. I have no interest to go there to get bombed or like get fucking chased by a grenade drone. Finnish military Europe in general aren't uneasy because Putin is clearly delusional enough to openly attack NATO. No, it's not. Even that shit is like drummed up in like the news of like, oh, in the next 10 years, like Russia could attack NATO. Like, motherfucker, do you think they're really gonna start fucking World War III and attack a NATO country? Like, how delusional are you? China might attack Taiwan. Like, that's what's probably gonna happen. That's probably what's gonna happen in like the next 5 years, is that China will take over Taiwan, and then like the whole world is gonna be at the mercy of like China because all the fucking microchips are made in Taiwan. Like no other country has like the manufacturing capacity to make fucking wafers, and then everyone's fucked. Putin's not stupid, he's delusional. In the Tucker Carlson interview, he said that like there is no interest to attack like Poland or Lithuania or like any NATO country. In the 2-hour Tucker Carlson interview, he said that verbatim, like, no, there's like no interest. Why would there be? Is it the same thing about Ukraine? Yeah, well, the shit's a bit different, man. What is Ukraine part of like a multinational defense alliance that also happens to include United States and fucking thousands of nuclear missiles? I don't think these things are comparable. I don't think it's comparable. Like, you know? Like, just because I think I could take on a singular like Lapland wolf doesn't mean that I'd be willing to take on the fucking Alaskan Giga Wolf pack, where it's like 20 fucking wolves that are all like ripped and fucking roided up, man. Like, these are not the same. Like, yeah, sure, they're both wolves, but I can't take a wolf pack. I can take like one. You know? I can take like one wolf. Like a Lapland wolf. Where does this furry talk about taking a pack of ripped and oiled up wolves? I said nothing about oiled up, man. In a fight? Yeah, in a fight. Yeah, I don't think like Russia would ever attack a NATO country. Like that just seems delusional. Let's see a meat. Enjoy Bedga. Putin is delusional. I don't know, man. That's what the Western news media says. But it's not like it's one man in control of a country. You know? The armed forces commanders would probably like take him out if he was planning. If he was like trying to order an attack on NATO country, man. Like ain't no one looking to die in World War III, man. Especially me, man. But yeah, I'm kind of worried in Finland about like the talk about making it illegal to leave the army reserves. Like I haven't particularly cared about it myself. I haven't particularly cared about like the military reserve myself. Like I haven't really been invited to do the role playing in the woods at all. Which is good because I'm not like I'm not too keen on going to roleplay in the woods for like a week or two. But now that they're talking about making it illegal to leave the army reserves, I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should. But I don't want to go do the fucking... Because there's like basically a punishment camp that you gotta do if you leave the military reserves. Where you gotta go to like some... I don't know, like some like center where you have to do like a week of lectures. Like, the fuck are you even gonna do like lectures for a week about leaving the military reserve? Anything Russia will accidentally shoot into a NATO country or see if they go Article 5. If they do not, they will just keep poking, see if how can go, they can get away with it. If they do, they will be using Voodoo's of nukes. What? Week of lectures? Why? Exactly. It's a punishment. It's like straight up a punishment. Like if you leave the military reserves, you basically become like a civilian. You become a part of the civilian reserves. Because Finland is like really unequal when it comes to gender, so like men are required to be part of like some reserve. Which is actually kind of like unconstitutional. Because you have like the freedom of expression in the constitution, but at the same time it says that you are forced to take part in a war if you are a man. It's kind of like the two parts of the constitution kind of clash in Finland. But yeah, if you leave the military reserves, you have to go into like the civilian reserve training center for like a week where they have like lectures. And it's just purely punishment. Like, none of that is like actually requiring you to be there. Like, what can you even say? What can you even lecture about for a week if you leave the military reserves? Like, how to use a fire extinguisher? That's like an hour. Like, the fuck do you need a week of lectures for? So I kind of don't want to do that either. I kind of don't want to do that either. Like it's really fucking unfair, man. Like I don't want these responsibilities. I never asked for this, man. I never asked for this. Fuck is this, man? Why do I gotta be a part of the fucking military reserve? I don't want to be a part of the reserve. Especially once they start sending fucking NATO reservists to the NATO operations. Fuck no, I'm not gonna go anywhere, man. I'm gonna make it illegal to leave the reserves. Cringe. Maybe I should get like a dual citizenship to some other country. Like fucking Malta or something. I'll get like just a passport over there. Surely there's countries that will just like sell you passports. So maybe I'll just get like a dual citizenship to some other country and then like then if shit's about to go down, I'll just like whip out the spare passport and leave. Maybe that's my contingency plan. I'm a pacifist, man. But yeah, it's just like pure punishment, like week of lectures. Apparently the law says that it can be up to 40 days of lecturing. But they've just been doing it for like a week. Fucking 40 days, man. Why? This shit's fucking cruel, man. You don't even participate in NATO operations. I thought NATO doesn't even do that much. I mean, not yet. Doesn't Finland have an alternative service then? Yeah, but even in the alternative service, you still have to like be part of like a civilian reserve. Which basically means that you're not going to be part of the armed conflict if like such a conflict arises. But you're going to be part of like the unarmed side of that conflict, like the civilian side. Which God knows what that fucking entails, like some cringe shit. I don't know, man. If I want to like leave the reserve, my options are to do the 1 week punishment camp in like God knows where. They just like randomly give you like a ticket to like some part of Finland and you gotta go there for a week. Or to pay a fine. But the fine would be kind of large and I kind of don't want to pay that much money. So like, man. Man. Shit sucks, man. Go back to JP and be Shrine Maiden. Yeah. I mean, right now, what you can do in Finland right now, if you don't want to go to military, is that like when you turn 18, you can like change your gender, your legal gender, to woman, and then you can like live life normally until you're 30, and then you can change it back, and then you've like dodged military. That's what you can do. If you don't want to go into the military right now. There's like no approval process or like no legal requirements. You can just like go change your gender online. That's your legal gender, so like women don't have a requirement to go into military. So if you're legally a woman, you don't have to do military. Can't wait for the first news about like some guy who dodged military like that. Bam, 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 bam. What a clown world. Yeah. I don't know, man. What good does even like changing your legal gender do? Maybe it's important for some people. You used to be able to do that, but it was like normally as well before like the law change. But it was like you needed to talk with a doctor. Like a psychiatrist had to like sign off on it. But apparently that was like degrading or something to speak to a psychiatrist. I don't know, something about having to like validate your existence or something. I mean, it's just paperwork, really. I think like women should also have to go into the military in Finland. I think it's like a huge equality problem that only men have to go to the military. I think everyone should have to go to the military. Either everyone goes or no one goes. That's how it should be. It should be either everyone or no one. Like the requirement that only men go is like a remnant of like patriarchal society, and it should be dismantled. Requirement to serve feels so outdated in today's time also. Yeah, that too, man. Like, how can you like legally require me to take part in a conflict, man? How can you like legally say that I have to go and like shoot people in a war? What if I don't want to? Like what, are you gonna shoot me? Guess I would just get thrown in jail or something for disobeying an order. Everyone, politician, fam, and rich people too. Yeah. Deserters will be flogged. Maybe I'll just cross like the border into Europe because there's no border control. Open borders and shit, you know? Ugh. Seek asylum. Seek asylum in Sweden. Bam, bam, bam. Nah, but I don't think Finland's gonna be part of like a... The only way Finland is gonna be part of any conflict is by proxy through NATO. By proxy through NATO. But I'm kind of worried if they want to have like some law that makes it so they can order reservists to go take part in like NATO conflicts. You know, like NATO. I'm kind of neutral about it. I'm kind of neutral about it. I don't think Finland really needed NATO because the EU already has like a defense pact built into it. So like NATO is just like additional costs. I feel like Finland joining NATO was kind of a panic bid. That wasn't really necessary. And I don't like the way that Finland joined NATO, because like it was like always talked about, like the NATO joining was always floated as an idea by like certain parties, and it was always said that like, oh, we need to have like a nationwide vote about it. Like we need to have a vote about joining NATO. But then when they eventually decided that they're gonna join NATO, they just like didn't have that vote. They were like, oh, if like we have a vote, then like Russia will influence the vote, and then we're not gonna join NATO, so we just want to join NATO now. Like, how do you know if people want to join NATO or not, man? At least have to vote. I don't know, man. What are we doing today? I don't know. What are we doing today? Meow. Human matters are near impossible to solve. Human matter. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Learn how to solve video games. What I'm thinking of solving right now is my dilemma of going pee. I need to go pee after drinking my 2 cups of tea. The outcome of the referendum would have been no, then that's it, no way back. Maybe it's better this way. I don't know, man. Like they did some freaking closed polling without really like disclosing how they did the polling or anything, and then they said that those polls are enough of a guide, like do the NATO application. I don't know, man. Trust us, we already know what you will vote for, so no reason to vote. Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to me, and it's like left a bad taste in my mouth, like after the whole NATO application in Finland. It was like we don't need to hold a vote. We already know what you're gonna vote for. If we hold a vote, like maybe like external factors are gonna influence the vote, so we don't want to hold a vote at all because you might vote the wrong thing. So we're just gonna like submit the application anyway. Like, kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, man. Like the taste of like ass. As I get like shat on. As like my opinion gets shat on. And now at the same time they're like thinking if they could like send freaking military reservists out to NATO operations and like making it illegal to leave the reserve, and I'm like, man, like I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for any of this. So it does have me seriously consider my like should I even be a part of the military reserve? Like, do I even want to be a part of? Do I even want to be part of an armed forces? Maybe I don't. But then I have to go to the freaking week-long punishment camp. Week-long punishment camp because I was born with a dick, and I need to be punished for that. What a cocked society, man. What a cocked society. I'm gonna go pee now. At least I can pee while standing up. Like that's the only blessing, right? that's the only blessing. I'm gonna go enjoy my blessings. Maybe it will like take my mind off my freaking curses. I'm back. I'm born with the original sin, a penis. So shut up and bear my cross. Yeah. What about all my white male privilege, the feminists talk about? Yeah, where can I fucking cash it in, man? I just want to cash in all this white male privilege that I have. Like, where do I cash it in, man?
Well, flatulence, Goofy. is a natural bodily function, goofy, that plays a role in our digestive system.
Goofy.
While it may seem funny or embarrassing at times, goofy, the release of gas can actually be a sign of a healthy gut. Goofy. It helps to relieve bloating and discomfort. Goofy, and can indicate that our digestive system is working properly. Goofy. So, let's embrace the goofiness of flatulence. Goofy. And appreciate its role in maintaining
Also, I didn't
our
fart.
overall health.
I didn't fart. I was blowing my nose. Okay. I don't know, man. I'm just left a little minged with all this news about like the military reserve and shit. Like I don't like when I feel like I'm not given a choice. You know? Disabled funny chat TTS. Yeah. Bam, bow, 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 bow. I don't like when I feel like I do not have a choice, you know? I wish to have a choice in things. Bow, bow, bow. Man, they keep announcing strikes in Finland. Like more and more political strikes. Not like the freaking workers at the nuclear power plants are gonna go on strike. They usually give the or else choice. I mean, I don't know, man. Like my choice is to go to the punishment camp or pay like 2,000 in fines. Like, I don't know, man. If I want to leave the reserves. And just like paying the fine doesn't like remove the requirement to go, but you can't get punished for it again. More strikes? Yeah, they're having more political strikes. You know, I don't know how I feel about the political strikes. I don't think I support them. Like, I support unions striking against the companies. But like, unions striking against the government? The government was elected by like people which like by proxy are members of the union. I don't know. You go to the camp for weenies. The weenie camp. The loser nerd camp. Bam, 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 bam. Oh man. Bam, 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 bam. The weenie camp. Or losers. My nose hurts. What can you do when like the inside of your nose hurts, man? What is there to do? Nothing. There's nothing to do. Doomed to suffer. Bow, 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 bow. Sniff some hot herbal tea. I was kind of drinking some herbal tea. Ah. Bow, bow, bow. Oh man, think like I'll go to like a sauna. I'll heat up the sauna and like that'll help. For sure, right? Surely, right? Some sauna time. Sniff Vicks kind of works for you. It's not like the sniffles or that like my nose is stuck. It's like the inside of my nose hurts. It's like sore. Like breathing through my nose is kind of like annoying because of that. That's what sucks about this, man. Oh, I had to blow my nose again. Watching me always makes you want to have a sauna at home. It's such a QOL for me, man. Like it brings up the cost of living a little bit, but I feel like it's worth, man. I feel like it's worth, at least for me. What are you posting? What is this?
Is it an album? Keep up that stuff. Oops, sorry.
What the fuck was that? What are you posting? Huh? It's not for me. It's not for me. What the fuck, man? That microphone peaked. Holy. Why did you do this, man? Why did you do this? Free preview of OnlyFans content? Bro, that made me think like, you know how shit Twitter is right now because of like all the OnlyFans spam bots spamming pussy in bio, man. Buy nudes in bio. Holy fuck, man, that site is so ass. I've been like blocking spam, but I like click on a freaking post thinking like, oh man, I want to see like what people react to this, and there's like pussy in bio, my nudes in bio, and then someone else like posting some unrelated shit. Like everyone's just farming engagement because of stupid ass ad revenue sharing. Like, Jesus Christ, that platform is so cancer. The ad rev sharing was like a mistake. It's clearly not for you. Bro, you posted in my chat. I'm gonna like look at what this is, man. What did I know? It's a fucking fart clip, man. The algorithm should learn from my choices. Weird how it still continues to show you Coomer stuff. Bro, it's like I'm getting less of them, but it's still there, man. It's still there, man. Man. Social media, more mistakes happen. I feel like the ad sharing thing on Twitter was a mistake. Like, that should have never happened, man. That should have never happened. Because what it has caused is like people are very like people are like bloodthirsty when it comes to engagement farming. They are like hungry for the engagement because now they actually get money for it, like directly. It has turned the platform into like a spam center. Cringe. Cringe city. There's a CV clip on freaking livestream fails. Truly made it. Look at that. Bow, 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 bow. Porn game. Was she playing? You're playing a board game? Hold on, man.
This isn't a porn game, by the way.
This is not. Why is that rat wearing leather?
This isn't a porn game, by the way.
That mouse is thick as fuck. Holy.
Your bottom.
Bottom.
Does this work?
What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Whoa. That mouse thick as fuck. Holy. Holy. Oh man. Not a porn game, by the way. Your flesh is so weak. Bro, you gotta resist the mouse, okay? Gotta resist. What game was that? Atlas? Hold on, maybe we can... Yeah, Atlas. Atlus. I think this was the name of the game. Atlas single player online RPG. But how come you can customize how thick your character's butt is, man? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? Yeah. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Let's look at some streamer drama, man. Let's look at some streamer drama. Oh man. Those were some sneezes. So apparently Mitch Jones got beat up by Miskiff. There was like a video of this. Like it was like weirdly like perfectly framed video from like someone's like yard camera or something, where like the car pulls up and then like then there's like altercation happening on the street. Like apparently this guy got like his teeth kicked in, or not, well, not kicked in, but like smacked by Miskiff. Final statement about being assaulted. I decided to share what happened to me at the hands of Miss. I knew certain things would be taken out of context in relation to the incident. The incident is him getting his ass beat. Being on the internet, I know the Cautious Channel's fans and others will try to jump to conclusions either side to decide to justify certain points of view. Not gonna argue with anyone. I want to clarify and set out my clear and final public statement on this assault. The bird creation screen is even worse. What the? Are you looking at the game right now, man? What? To be clear, the reason that I came out publicly about this matter is that one, I wanted to get this off my chest as I had been sitting with this and I heard rumors about the incident. Make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. What do you mean happen to anyone else? Highlight the violence is not the answer to an argument. I want Miss to take responsibility for his actions. I don't plan to take any legal action or personally push this further, but if I have to, I will. That's good lawyer wording there, because if you like threaten with a lawsuit, that's called civil extortion, and you are not allowed to do that. That is illegal. I don't want to continue to talk about this. You are still gonna continue talking about this, aren't you? Stop people from jumping to conclusions, pushing narrative. I'll be correcting some wrong information. Not be appearing on any podcast or shows to talk about this, so please don't ask. Yes, I was intoxicated. So the rumor I saw is that like he was high on cocaine. That's some fucking Austin streamer life, man. Ugh. Some like stimulants. Let's go. Yes, I said some things that were not nice, and so it means we were in a verbal argument going back and forth. In the heat of the moment, we both said things that are not said otherwise. Nothing that justified being knocked unconscious and choked and strangled. I mean, yeah, like if you just have like a verbal altercation, that doesn't justify like the other guy attacking you. I feel like if he got knocked unconscious or choked or strangled, I feel like he shouldn't be like, I'm not gonna sue. Like he should be like, I'm going to sue. There was not another person involved or a second incident with someone else, just false stated by people with other motives tried to create a false narrative. Assaulted me. Don't physically pull me from the car, make aggressive contact, fuck around and find out, bro. I feel like he did kind of fuck around and find out. Like, from what I saw about this earlier, is that like he was threatening to start a fight. He was threatening to start a fight, and before he could actually start a fight, like he got his shit kicked in. But like, I don't think you can do that. Just because someone is threatening to start a fight, you can't actually beat them up. Like, I'm pretty sure that's just assault. I'm planning to releasing any more incident-related documentation. I'm putting this out. Matter facts. The facts are the facts, and while I might likewise contribute to the situation, nothing gives the right for another person to put another person's life in jeopardy over a verbal dispute. I mean, that is true. You can totally do that. Can you do that in Texas? Maybe you can do that in Texas. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm talking about in Finland, like. What the fuck? I feel like in Finland you're not allowed to like do that. You're not allowed to do it. If you feel threatened, you can defend yourself. Not in Finland. You're not allowed to. Just because someone else is like acting or like threatening to start something, you're not allowed to like. It's about like the first hit, right? You're not allowed to take the first, like do the first damage, you know. If they like destroy some of your stuff or something, like maybe then you're allowed to, but I'm not sure. Approach the support that I have received always knew that coming out with what really happened would be unpopular. Yes. Seems like minimization. Post the video so we can hear. Why you decide to attack me? Same. So post the video. Post the video. It's going to let someone spoil the place you are in and go somewhere or home. I mean, Finland's kind of cocked in, like, you know, self-defense. Like, you're not really allowed to self-defend. You have to get punched first, but if the other guy is way huger than you and you get hit first, you're gonna go down in one. I mean, yeah, in those cases, right? If you are like actually threatened, then yeah. Then yeah, but like just someone like talking shit, you're not really like allowed to punch them. Everyone's just like show the full video. Where is the full video? Like the video I saw was like him just like sitting on the ground and being like, you fractured my tooth. That's the video I saw. Nothing else though. It feels like it in cutting that part leaves a lot of things. Yeah, like the video that I saw did have like edited parts, like mutual combat. Wait, you're allowed to do mutual combat in Texas? Wait, so duels are allowed in Texas? God damn, man. What the fuck? As long as both consent. Wow, what the fuck is up with Texas? What the fuck is a mutual combat law? Oh man. Fucking hell. Beach Jones. I did not know that mutual combat is a thing that exists. But yeah, at least in Finland, you're not really allowed to. You're not really allowed to throw the first punch, so to say. What's wrong with a good old-fashioned duel to the death? I feel like you could like abuse that law a lot. You know, like what if you like force someone to sign like a notarized document of like, yeah, I want to do mutual combat, and then you're just gonna kill them. You like force them to sign it, and then you just kill them, like, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Why is Biden trending in politics? What did Biden do? Biden's cognitive decline has been obvious to those around him for years. Was there like something about Biden's cognitive ability? Universally true diaper. Yeah. You can't kill or hurt someone under contract. Yeah, but if it's a mutual combat, you know, that's not under contract. That's like you're just making a record that is like mutual combat, right? Right? You're allowed to do mutual combat. Oh, the Department of Justice ruled that Joe Biden is not mentally competent to face trial. What? So he got ruled that he's not mentally competent to go into trial. What the fuck? Oh my god. Wow. That's kind of fucked, man. So if he's not mentally competent to stand trial, that will also hint that he's not mentally competent to be a president, right? Oh, man. Too old to be guilty, just old enough to be president? Yeah, but that... Man, what the fuck? Oh, man. Oh, man. Shit's fucked, man. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. You know, get it when Biden is trying to do something good, he's called incompetent, meanwhile Trump is doing something that only looks good on paper, but people will suffer. He'll be called patriot. I don't think they're calling... It depends on who you talk to, man. I don't think a lot of Americans would call Trump a patriot. Considering that he's under trial for trying to overthrow the government. Like, that's like the most unpatriotic thing you can do, right? Is to like try to overthrow the legally and democratically elected government, right? Oh, man. Wonder if a kid does crime often his parents are held accountable. Oh man, that reminds me of like a news story I saw. Like I saw like a news story about how like some kid shut up a school. Like I think he killed like 4 people, and then like his parents were held accountable for it. I thought like, man, how can that be? Like how could you like potentially hold the parents accountable for it? Like the headline seems so fucking sensational. I was like, what the fuck? But then I read into it and I was like, by the end of it, I was like, yeah, man, maybe the parents are kind of accountable for for it. Because it was like the news, like the story then laid out that like, oh, the parents knew that he had like mental health issues. They still bought him a gun for like an 18-year-old present. They just bought him a gun despite knowing that he's like has a lot of fucking issues going on. they like the school had been like contacting the parents and saying that like, hey, this kid is like drawing things about him wanting to kill people and shit. And the parents were like, yeah, he'll be fine, she'll be right. She'll be right. They're like, hey, we think your kid should go like into therapy. They're like, or no, our kid's not gonna go into therapy. And then, like, on the day off, like, they get called into the school being like, hey, like, your kid is like being real fucking weird today, and like he seems really fucking distraught, and you probably should like take your kid to see a mental professional, or like at least check up on him. And they were like, we're not gonna do any of that. And then they just leave, and then the kid proceeds to like shoot 4 of his classmates. Like, yeah, man. I think the parents should be fucking responsible. Hardcore Republicans are always like that. They don't believe in therapy. I feel like that's more of like a traditionalist thing of like not believing in therapy and shit. I don't know, man. Like some like freaking natural I don't even know. But yeah, apparently Biden got deemed as mentally not fit. I'm sure that will do wonders for his presidential campaign. Version is to like therapy, but more slowly. Think there's point for therapy, and punishment going too far into one extreme does not help. There's a point for therapy and punishment. Cut the hands. I don't know, man. It's got to be fake, right? The Biden thing? No, the Department of Justice said that Biden cannot stand trial because he's like mentally unfit. Right? DOJ Biden mentally unfit. Department of Justice reports digs into Biden's mishandling classified documents as poor memory. President Joe Biden was careless in his handling of classified documents scattered across his Delaware residency.
Well, G44 and so, the question of age and accountability for crimes is a complex topic. In legal systems, there is often a cut-off point where individuals may be considered too old to be held fully accountable for their actions, taking into account factors such as mental capacity and rehabilitation potential. Yeah, we gotta take into this account, but however, this is also a thing, and we should always be mindful of blah blah. Man, I gotta get the AI to stop yapping, man. Anyway, they say that like a federal investigator concluded he will avoid prosecution in part because of poor memory. Oh, maybe I can like get this on screen. Bow, 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 bow. That's right. Department of Justice report Dixon Biden's mishandling. So yeah, apparently he also had like freaking classified documents, you know, just like Trump had in like Mar-a-Lago. Like, what is up with like American presidents and like taking classified documents home? Like, what do you need to do with those documents at home? Can't you just like read them at the office? Like, what is this? Why do you need to get them home? Why? But yeah, they say that he will avoid prosecution in part because of his poor memory. So because his memory is so poor, they will not prosecute them. Like goddamn, man. A long-awaited Justice Department report released on Thursday. Accusation of legal double standard among President's Republican opponents are bound to intensify. Oh man. Former Trump administration official led the investigation, said the evidence doesn't establish Biden's guilt
beyond a reasonable doubt and that charges were unwarranted based on our consideration of the aggravating and mitigating factors. So there's a mitigating factor that he doesn't know where he is and what he's doing. Oh man. Special counsel in my case decided against moving forward with any charges. The matter is now closed. 345-page report. Shocking revelations. Has been hounded by his age. What revelations are there in the documents? Why didn't they pursue criminal charges? Why did they not pursue criminal charges? The year-long probe on evidence that Biden willfully retained classified materials. Isn't that bad? Isn't that why they were like giga mad at Trump? Because of like the classified documents in Mar-a-Lago? Isn't that the same thing? Investigators do not believe this evidence is sufficient, as jurors would likely find reasonable doubt for one or more several reasons. What? Materials include marked classified documents about military and foreign policy in Afghanistan. Notebooks containing Biden's handwritten entries about issues of national security and foreign policy implicating sensitive intelligence sources and methods. Oh man. Like, why do you take these fucking documents home, man? Why? Why would you take them home? Why can't you just, like, read them at the office? Why? FBI agent found those materials in the garage, offices and basement den, the Delaware home. Some were classified at the highest level of secret. How is it even possible for the president to just, like, take these home? This feels like not a take-home task, right? Spanned Mr. Biden's career in national public life. Were retained during times he was private citizen. So he just had these since forever? And what? The defense is that he just forgot about them? No criminal charges warranted, even if Department of Justice policy did not foreclose criminal charges against the sitting president. One of the reasons it would be difficult to convict Biden is there might be reasonable doubt as to whether he knew he had top secret materials. I feel like you should be aware, man. Like, how can you have the highest level of classified documents and not know you had it? Biden's memory was significantly limited. Would make it hard for a jury to convict beyond reasonable doubt. Where's his home even? It's not the White House. It's like President's Wilmington, Delaware home. The White House is like the official residence, right? He may have committed a crime, but he doesn't remember, so it's okay. That's basically what they're saying. Biden couldn't recall when he was vice president, son's death. Certainly bound to be injected. Biden's well-meaning elderly man with poor memory. Oh, man. President's memory appeared hazy when discussing the war in Afghanistan that was once so important to him. Biden couldn't remember important details about his own life either. Oh, man. In his interview with our office, Mr. Biden's memory was worse. He did not remember when he was vice president. He did not even remember even the several years when his own son Beau died. Jesus Christ, man. Just let the old man rest. Jesus Christ. Let the old man, like, rest and, like, not be in the fucking spotlight. This is like... This is something. Biden exhibited diminished faculties and faulty memory. In interviews, whether with federal investigators or author Mark Zwonitzer, his ghostwriter, this couldn't come worst time, ongoing debate. You're too senile to stand trial, then you're too senile to be president. Joe Biden is unfit to lead this nation. I mean, kinda. Kinda, man. You forget about the Nam War too, what they were fighting for again? The Vietnam War? Against communism, right? Like, it was some weird fucking American imperialism war where they're like trying to stop Vietnam from being communist or something. Getting their ass beat because like it's a fucking nightmare to like try to wage a war like overseas. got brought in by the French. That's how it was. Yeah, to be honest, I have no idea what the Vietnam War was about. I think it was like something about communism. Farmers with like hand-me-down equipment fighting against like military. White House, Biden campaign Democrats have been very protective of the president when questions about his health arise. Surrogates were quick to defend him on Thursday, citing exhaustion during his lengthy interview. Inappropriate criticism of the president's memory are inaccurate, gratuitous, and wrong. We told the special counsel this. How can it be wrong if, like, in the interviews with like the investigators, they conclude that he has like no fucking idea about like things that are going on? They've been fighting with the French for what, you're pretty sure, like decades. Report uses highly prejudicial language to describe a commonplace occurrence among witnesses, lack of recalls of years-old events. I feel like you would, if you had like normal, you would remember your son dying, or like you would remember being the vice president. This isn't like a Sunday 3 years ago, like July 8th Sunday 5 years ago. Do you remember what you did? Like, this isn't the case of that. Like, it's like, do you remember when you were holding like the second highest like place of power in like the world's largest economy of the United States? Like, you should be able to remember that. You should be able to remember that time. You know? If you don't remember that time, then like, this is not like some random memory, like, oh, you just failed to recall. What Robert heard in this report with this irrelevant extraneous remarks is the same thing DOJ used as base to fire James Comey. James Comey? Who is James Comey? Why is the first thing, like, when I search for James Comey, is James Comey height? American lawyer. 7th director of the FBI. May 2017. Why did he get fired? Director of the FBI, American liar. What? American lawyer, not American liar. Wait, why did he get fired? Police and African Americans, what? Currently at Georgetown University regarding relations with police and African American community. Law enforcement enforced status quo. Status quo was often brutally unfair to disfavored groups. Not true though. Why did he get fired? Hillary email investigation. Is that why he got fired? FBI's recommendation filed no criminal charge relating Hillary Clinton email controversy. Investigations. Formal investigation into whether FBI followed procedures in its investigation of Clinton. Judiciary Committee decided to request documents related to Comey. So he was removed from the FBI because of the Clinton email scandal and Russian election interference. Government surveillance oversight. President Trump dismissed Comey. Maybe it was because of the Clinton emails then. Comey lawyers first termination from television news reports. God damn, man. It's kind of rough, man. Reason for dismissal. Oh, here we go. They used the FBI to spy on Trump. That's kind of fucked, man. Wait, is that what they did? Steele dossier. FBI opened an investigation into the Trump campaign. Oh shit, they did. They did. Comey asked President Obama for permission to write an op-ed which would warn the public that Russians were interfering in the election. President denied the request. What the fuck? They was trying to like... When he first met Trump when he briefed President-elect on Steele dossier, Trump and Comey dined alone. According to Trump, Comey requested the dinner so as to ask to keep his job and he has told Trump that he was not under investigation. Oh man. Yeah, I feel like this is like I feel like this is a little bit more. Like I don't think the firing of James Comey is like I don't think this is like the same as Biden. Oh man. Former President Donald Trump didn't mince words ever since DOJ's decision. Yeah, because Trump got like charged for the Mar-a-Lago shit, right? Because he had like documents in his like own residence, right? He he got like a lot of shit for that, right? So how come like Biden wouldn't get shit because oh he doesn't remember? Biden document case is 100 times different and more severe than mine. I did nothing wrong. Oh, yeah, man, sure you did. You're sure you didn't do anything wrong. What Biden did is outrageously criminal. Hey, it's okay. He didn't remember that he had the highest classified documents that outline freaking US foreign policy and like intelligence agents. Two cases are very different. How are they different? Biden voluntarily working with prosecutors while Trump finally refused to do so. Oh man. How is Joe Biden fit to be president of the United States? Oh man. I mean, it should be kind of concerning if he's like deemed too incompetent or like mentally incompetent to be held accountable for the mishandling of the giga classified information. And I don't know, man. Maybe he shouldn't be maybe he shouldn't be the president. Joe Biden can't remember major events in his life. That is sad. But it will be even sadder if we have a person in the White House who is not mentally up to the most important job in the world. True. But yeah, apparently like the DOJ is saying that Biden is mentally unfit. DOJ is saying that, so you know, it's kind of rough, right? Joe should be an old home feeding ducks at the local pond. Yeah, and eating ice cream, right? Eating ice cream. That's what he should be doing. You know, if you could like if your saliva was actually like could turn into ice cream and would be like the perfect flavor that you will always like and enjoy, but at the same time like Joe Biden really wants taste, would you take that power? Like Joe Biden really wants taste of your saliva ice cream, but like you can always create the perfect ice cream out of your mouth. Would you do it? Would you do it, man? Would you take that deal? Think about it. The perfect ice cream. Every time you want it, you can just like drool a little bit on like a cup or like a bowl, and it's gonna be like it's gonna turn into like the perfect thing. Just like spit in a cup. Yeah, like your spit will turn. It like your spit, like when it's inside like someone's mouth, it will like turn into like the perfect ice cream. But it has to go directly from your mouth into theirs. If it goes in your mouth and you want it to turn into perfect ice cream, it can. But Joe Biden really wants a taste of your spit ice cream. He like really wants it. Like real bad. would you take the superpower? He just keeps going. Answer the question. Answer the hypothetical. Give old Joe some ice cream, man. Spit in his mouth. Nice. You're about to spit in my mouth. Please don't. You're gonna have to pay you a few $1,000,000. You wouldn't like infinite, like best taste ice cream? Was he willing to give up for it? He's the most powerful man. He has like the CIA and the FBI ready to like track you down and waterboard you, so that he can have so he can like deep tongue that ice cream out of your mouth, man. Yeah. Would you do it? Get waterboarded. Joe wants his ice cream. Oh man. It's barely in control of his sphincter. Man, I feel like it's kind of sad that like an elderly man who's like deemed unfit to stand trial. He's like being like put into like positions that maybe he doesn't even really understand, you know. Maybe he doesn't even really understand what he's doing. There was a hiccup and a burp at the same time. I've yapped for 2 hours. This has been a good yappening. So right now I feel like I kind of could go like heat up the sauna. I wanted to do a short stream today anyway. I'm a sick boy. I don't really know what I would want to play anyway. Like Fearless Kung Fu, I don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. I kind of want to go heat up the sauna. You know, maybe like maybe going into the sauna will like help with the congestion and like nostril pain that I'm currently under. You know. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. A bit of a shorter stream today, but you know, Friday streams kind of are what they are. Friday streams kind of are what they are. At least this was a good yappening. Good yaps, man. Good yaps. I think tomorrow we're gonna have like the shitposting day normally, and then on Sunday, could play something on Sunday. Could play something on Sunday. Or if not play, like do something on Sunday. Maybe play something on Sunday. Kind of want to go get back to Monster Hunter again. You know, more Monster Hunter World. I've been kind of wanting to play RimWorld. I kind of have an urge to play Path of Exile too. But yeah, I'm gonna end here for today. A little bit of a shorter stream, but you know, I'm kind of like I'm kind of pooped out. I'm kind of all pooped out, you know. All calmed out. It was what it was. What is that supposed to mean? All calmed out. So yeah, I'm end here for today. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for being here. Love you all. Hope you all have a good rest of Friday. Sorry for the shorter stream, but like I need to like go blow my nose, and I need to like go to the sauna and chill. So yeah, sorry for the shorter stream. I'll be back in tomorrow though. Tomorrow we'll do shitposting day, full length shitposting, and I'll also stream on Sunday. So yeah, thanks for watching today. Thanks for being here. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Choo choo. Bye bye. Skirt skirt.